Hello, everyone, and welcome to another one of our TEPSA Presents. I'm your host, Todd Nesloni. I'm the Director of Culture and Strategic Leadership here at the Texas Elementary Principals and Supervisors Association. Twice a month, we look to bring you timely episodes with conversations about ways that we have heard where our members need help. And one of the things that we've been talking about recently are the holidays are coming up, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you're going to be celebrating, it's coming around the corner. And we know as school leaders, we always try to love to do a bunch of variety of things. But with the pandemic and the craziness that has brought, whether we are in-person, virtual, hybrid, or it's changing again tomorrow, this has been one of those years where it's like, oh my goodness, I don't even know what to do anymore. So we wanted to bring everybody a special episode where we are going to talk about ways that we can celebrate each other during this season. So without further ado, I want to let my guests introduce themselves. First of all, I've got Allison. Allison, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Allison Carmichael. I'm currently a principal at a K-6 elementary school in Arizona. We have a school that's about 850 kids. And I also have a little side hustle, if you will, where I promote mindfulness and mental health and work in partnership with Teacher Fit to also promote physical health. So that's me. I'm a mother of three. So that's great. And a wife and avid reader.
All kinds of stuff. Very well-rounded. Well, thank you so much for being here. My other guest today is Jose. Jose, tell everybody who you are.
Hey everyone. So my name is Jose Cortez. I am a Christmas fanatic, ready for the holidays. I am a former elementary school teacher here in good old Texas, in Fort Worth, Texas. And I'm the CEO of Alberto and Company, which is a stationery and organizational brand for teachers. Essentially, everything that I learned from being in the classroom and the struggles and the needs of organization, I just kind of carry that into our business. And so now I run this with my husband. We've owned the company for 4 years, and we travel all over the country with Get Your Teach On and other, we're not really traveling right now, but other conferences, Get Your Lead On and stuff like that. So, and obviously we've done a lot of amazing things with TEPSA. Mm-hmm. So we're really, really proud and honored to be partnered with them. So thank you guys for having me.
Well, I'm super pumped about this conversation today because I love the holiday season. And as a principal, it was always one of my favorite times to celebrate because it was like I didn't have to worry about grades or discipline or anything like that. I just got to pour in to others and try to uplift them. So let's start the conversation with that. So, Allison, you've been a principal now for a few years. Jose, you were in the classroom for several years. And, I served as an elementary principal as well. And so I'd love to first know, we'll start with you, Jose. What was one of your favorite memories of what did you love? How did you love being celebrated? Or what did your principal do one time that you were like, oh my gosh, this was so much fun? Do you remember one of those?
Oh gosh, yeah. So my school, I was basically at the same school throughout my teaching career. And we would always do a 12 days of Christmas leading up to the winter break. And it was always something that we look forward to, obviously, because every day there was a theme and we could just kind of have fun with it. It was very relaxing. And just as you said a second ago, you're not worrying so much about testing and grades and all this stuff. You really just get to have fun, not only with your kids, but also with your colleagues. And so yeah, we basically, they called it 12 days of Jeansmas is what they called it. And so essentially every day was a theme. One day was presents. And as long as you somehow, way, shape, or form, decorated yourself as a present, you could wear jeans. So we love that. And so You could wear jeans for 12 for like all the days leading up to winter break. And I know everyone looked forward to that. So, and then, and I know I'm saying one other thing, but our counselor would go around and like, I cannot remember what it was called, but it was this holiday drink that she always had. It was like an orange drink, and it was so yummy, and we always looked forward to it. It was like nice and hot, and she would come every day and like pour us some, so like to our classrooms. And so, gosh, I can't remember what that was called, but it was delicious, and we look forward to that. So yeah.
I love that. And I remember doing 12 days with my staff as well, and it was always fun to try to come up with the different themes, because if you're been at the same school more than 1 year, as a leader, my other leaders listening will know this, you can't do the same thing every year because they expect you to mix it up. And so we had to really start being creative. But now I'm thinking, like, even if we're virtual during these days, there's still so many cool ways that you could celebrate this virtually. I know a mutual friend of ours, Jose Ty Cook, is a middle school science teacher, and he just shared on his Instagram that his school did a masked singer competition where teachers could be a part if they wanted to, but they're fully virtual, so they can't get in person. So they were able to record themselves masked up singing a song, and then they were able to submit different videos, and people would vote on who would advance and who wouldn't, and then they'd reveal them, and they'd have all these clues built in. And I thought, I would never be submitting a Masked Singer video, but I would love to watch my staff do it, because I know some of them would like go all out. And even though it has nothing to do with anything, it's fun, it's popular right now in the culture. And so it's just a great way to just have something silly. So even doing something like a Christmas Masked Singer or anything like that would be fun. Allison, what do you remember? What do you do?
Yeah, well, it's funny because the 12 days came up, but we're not nearly as creative. So I need to pay attention to this podcast, and I'm going to be having lots of takeaways. But yeah, the creativity factor on both of those is through the roof. My 12 days of Christmas example is really just more of a make fun of your principal. So I count 12 days before Christmas, and to the song Partridge in a Pear Tree, just kind of make up. I do it make it up every day. So people think that I've spent all year writing these things, and I just walk in the morning and think, well, what have I harped on this week? And maybe I added an extra duty. So, on the first day of Christmas, my principal gave to me an extra duty. And then the Partridge in a Pear Tree, or the number 2, the turtle doves, and so on. So not nearly as elaborate as those two ideas, but maybe more on my doable scale for Christmas. But yeah, we have annually a gift swap, a Secret Santa, and kind of one of those things where at the Halloween where they get booed on the door, we pass around that. So it's a little bit of a way to stay connected, and still think of each other and reach out to one another. Virtually is a little bit different this year, and some things have to maybe get mailed, but as much as we can to stay connected, I think is a good goal.
Well, there's two things I want to share, because you brought two memories to me, Allison. One of them is I talked to a principal who they did a virtual scavenger hunt during a staff meeting. So she said she would get on the staff meeting and she'd be like, okay, I want the first 3 people who come back with a Christmas design spoon, or who come back with a bag of marshmallows. And so people were like running around their houses trying to bring things back to be the first ones back. And that's another just silly little fun thing. But if you are on campus, one of my favorite things to do, and I did this for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. And side note, if you're uncomfortable calling your activity the 12 days before Christmas or anything like that, because you want to be respectful of people who celebrate different holidays, one of my principal friends in California, he does the 12 days of Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, winter break celebration. So that way, no matter where you fall in the spectrum, you're included in that. So just something to keep in mind. But something that we would do for Thanksgiving, Christmas and Easter is I would use this program called Face in Hole. I don't know if you've heard of that before. And it has different pictures where the hole is missing from the face. And you just drop your photo in. So like for Thanksgiving, I would get a bunch of turkeys and I'd get like 10 staff photos, mine included, and put them in a little hole. And then I would laminate the turkeys and hide them around school. And so I would tell the staff, okay, when you find a turkey, bring it to me. Whoever's face is on the turkey, that correlates with a certain prize. So maybe it's you get to leave 5 minutes early, or here's a Sonic gift card, like whatever. But the same thing with Christmas, like we would do it on the reindeer. And so I got to be Rudolph. And so when you found Rudolph, that's the biggest prize when you find the principal one. Side note, though, if you are going to do that, you got to put some rules in place. Like you can't be looking for prizes during class instruction. People will try. You can't send kids to look for them either. And so we had to be really clear. We learned the first year. After the first year, we had to make a little bit of alterations. But I think that, those are all like the turkey and that's easy, inexpensive. It just took me some time to make them and get them out. But the people would just love that so much. And I think it's Kelly. I see Kelly said, what is the Face app that I mentioned? I think it's called Face in Whole. It's a website. It wasn't an app. It may be an app now. I don't know. But there's all those silly little things that you can do. But I love, Allison, how you would kind of make fun of yourself too. What are you going to say, Jose?
Sorry, I just was I was remembering something as you were talking, and I wanted to share it really quickly before I forget. So also, because you're saying obviously principals and admin, anybody is looking for something that's inexpensive, something that is easy to do. One other thing that we did that I love so much at my school, and this was more so almost like a morale booster too, for the staff, was that we had a tree inside of our office. And you basically would go and draw a person's name every year, every staff member who wanted to partake, which pretty much everybody did. You would go and draw someone's name out of a hat. And then that person, you would have to make an ornament. And there we had in one of the rooms, all kinds of stuff to, so you didn't have to go home and find materials yourself. Mm-hmm. But basically just a little ornament, and then you would put the staff member's name, and then you would put something that you enjoy about that person, or just a note that you want to say about that person, or just anything like that. And I'm telling you, it was the sweetest thing, because once you get to school, you're kind of going to the tree to see if your ornament is up there, and eventually you'll see it there, and then you get to read what somebody else said about you. And it's so sweet. It's just one of those things that builds culture in your school. And I think everyone really appreciated that. So I had the idea right now. I was like, well, how can you do that virtually? Just make a Google slide or something, right? A Google slide where you share it with the staff. It could be a little tree in the background, and then just little ornaments where they can actually and I'm actually thinking right now, I'm probably going to just make that and put it on our website so people could just go. So give me about a week and I'll have it ready.
I love that. And that's what I love about, sometimes we're so caught up in our own work that we can't think about doing it differently because our brain power is just exhausted. That's why I love having these conversations, because even as you're talking, Jose, I'm like, ooh, or everybody, you could make a Google Slides presentation and give everybody a different slide. Yeah. And during a staff meeting, be like, okay, now we're going to bring up this slide, share your ornament and why you made it. There's so many cool ways to do that. So I love your idea, Jose. My wheels are spinning. I'm like, I want to do this in some kind of way too, even though I'm not out of school this year. There's so many neat ways. I remember that, as a teacher, one of my favorite things that I did with my students was we found a foster care center, and we made holiday cards for them and just mailed them. We didn't need to know anybody's name. We just wanted to make cards because, one thing that I often remind people is the research behind gratitude, and that when you're feeling low and beaten down, when you show gratitude to others, it actually increases your mood more than the person you're showing gratitude to. And so taking that time to adopt some people at at a shelter or at a foster center or even at your local nursing home. I mean, you think about what our family and friends have been through during COVID, especially in nursing homes. Now's a perfect time to find a way to give back, and you end up getting a benefit from it as well. And so, you know, Jose, I want to jump to you again before we jump over to you, Allison, because I have some more for you too. But Jose, you know, one of the cool things that Berto & Co. does is y'all make all kinds of products. And as a principal, I always wanted to buy my staff stuff. I didn't always have the money, but I always wanted to try to like get them something because I know teachers, they love to get stuff, even if it's just like a soda from Sonic. But you make a lot of cool stuff, and you've actually partnered with TEPSA this year too. TEPSA just released a blog post. You can go to the TEPSA website and search holiday ideas, and it's there. But you created some little stuff. And so talk about kind of what you made, because I know you made them at like 3 different price points too to fit any budget.
Yes, definitely. So we just came out with this. We're really excited. We wanted to offer different, like you said, different price points so that if administrators, principals, whoever wants to go on and purchase things, even if you just are a teacher who wants to buy for your team, right? Like just 4 to 5 people. We wanted to have some different options. So we just made a really cute sticker. It's a vinyl sticker, and this is the cheapest option that we have right now on the website. We have other things that you can buy that are below like the $5 price point. But, and this is a mock-up because we just ordered them, so we'll get them in soon. But it's gonna be this size. It's a 4-inch sticker, and it basically says, together we can do virtually anything. And so it's just like stickers are all the rage right now. Like everyone is putting them on everything. So these are $3, and there is a 20% off TEPSA code, which is We Lead Texas. Oh, it's on the bottom right there. So that is a really good affordable option if you're looking for something to just give out to all of your staff members or your team or anything like that. And then next, we just came out with this notepad. This is a mock-up, but it's going to be a 50-page notepad, and it's a distance learning checklist notepad. And right now, I mean, there's all kinds of things that teachers are having to keep track of in a completely different way. And I wanted to create something that would just kind of like make it easy and simple. So on this notepad, there is an area where you can write down tasks for the week. And then over here on the side, you can just kind of like, you know, mark off, did you do that task on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so forth, right? So it's just a really easy checklist of things that you have to do daily that you just want to make sure that you are getting done. You also have a section at the bottom for goals, and then a section for anything that you need to do. So this is going to be a 50-page notepad. It's a really great quality paper, and this comes with one of our rose gold glitter pens, super cute. And so this is a set that you can purchase. That's going to be $12, the set. So that's just something that you're wanting to purchase for your team again, or for your staff members, like that would make a really good gift, right? So we have a $3 option, a $12 option, and then the third option is our We Lead Texas Premier Pack, which is something that we've had on the website for a few months now, and they are selling so good. We actually had one school that bought some for all of their staff members, which is really great. So it really does make a good gift for anyone. So let me kind of just show you really quickly what's in there. This is a $30 Premier Pack, and it comes with all of this stuff for $30. You cannot beat that price. And so it comes with this gorgeous tote bag. It has these like pleather handles that are very durable. It has the We Lead Texas logo on the front. And then whenever you open it, there is a zipper so that you can zip it up and keep everything nice and safe. Check out this teal color. It's so cute, right? So it's got a lot of space on the inside. It's got a a really nice like lined inside. That way if you spill anything, it's easy to clean up. You got a pocket in here too so that you can put things in. And so this is the first item that comes in the Premier Pack. Next, you are going to get a pencil pouch that matches the tote bag. It has the We Lead Texas logo. And honestly, I love this hashtag. And if you're a Texas educator, you should be using this hashtag on everything that you do on social media, because it doesn't matter what role or position we are in, even if we're teachers, counselors, administrators, anything, we're all leaders and we are helping students out every day. So anyways, I just love that. But on the inside of the pencil pouch, you also have this beautiful teal color. It's got a gold zipper. The Premier Pack also comes with a pen. It's a really good quality pen. I actually use mine all the time because it writes really well. It's one of those pens that you would definitely steal. So just keep it close by because somebody will probably want to steal it. And then it comes with a flask, one of these like hydro flask type things that are super in right now. And so it has the We Lead Texas logo. It's black and it's stainless steel. It's super durable. It's got a twist top, and you can put coffee or water and keep it nice and hot or cold throughout the day. I don't have two of the items here with me. It also comes with a notebook and a sticker, and I don't have those on me right now, but you can definitely go check all of this stuff out on our website at bertoandco.com. And as you're seeing below, there is a coupon code for you to save 20% off your entire order on our website.
Well, Jose, my wife is obsessed with your stuff. Like, we order from your site all the time. And when those bags came out, she was like, I got to have it. So her and both my sister-in-laws ordered bags, and they use them all the time. And none of them are even educators, but they all love carrying that bag around because it's huge and actually really durable. Because, when you see $30, you're like, oh, is this stuff going to be like worth it? But the bag's durable. The drink stuff actually keeps like your drink. I used it for a cold drink. Kept it cold for like almost a whole day. And like you said, I love that pen because I am a pen snob, and so there's not many pens that I absolutely love. Like, there's certain brands that I'm like, this is the only brand I buy. I love that you shared that. So Allison, what I love about what you bring too is you do a lot of work in taking care of yourself, and I think that's one thing that we can't forget about. As administrators, especially during this season, it's exhausting sometimes to think of how many ways can I lift my staff up, because I know how hard things are for them right now. So what is some advice or some resources you have for us?
Yeah, first of all, I want all of those things too, Jose. So I will be checking out the website as soon as this concludes. So thank you for that. And I need a new water bottle. I need new stickers. I need the whole thing. So so thank you. That's so awesome. Very cool. I think my perspective on the holidays in this time of year is really a focus on maybe what you might call positive psychology, and really just focusing on positivity, growth mindset, motivation, intrinsic motivation, all of that. Also, gifts are good too, so extrinsic motivation motivates me. And so I've got a couple of ideas to bring to the table that center around encouragement and those things that help you to feel good and feel motivated, and then therefore productive and part of the team and part of the community, like Jose was talking about with the culture pieces of some of those activities he's done at the holidays. So one of the things I think is really impactful is when you can have the staff share kind things about one another. And so a lot of times I think we, as principals are maybe gifting or awarding, or we get a gift card from our booster or PTO and we give those out. But one of the things that I challenge my teachers to do is actually send in, and you could do it just through email. So it doesn't have to be a big deal, but you could be fancy and use like Google Forms or something where they just send in, hey, my coworker helped me out with this, and no length, no expected length and no expected participation, because a lot of that builds in the autonomy to want to participate. And so just putting out there without, very non-threatening. Hey, what could you say about your staff members? And then what I do is I actually take out all the names. And so we put together a draft of all these great things about all of our friends at work. You could ensure that everybody was included. You could ensure that by, as you both have talked about, kind of giving names to one another and saying, hey, write to me, the principal, and then we put it all together. And you don't necessarily know who it came from. So it's not necessarily your buddy down the hall that kind of always peps you up. It's from somebody who on campus really genuinely cares about you and wants to pep you up. So kind of playing off of that intrinsic motivation and all of that positive psychology. Another thing that is really helpful during the holidays when things seem hard and, time kind of ticks a little slowly. And, we're all going through a tough time with COVID numbers increasing right now. So that has everybody's energy levels, stress levels increasing. Is just to write genuine thank you cards. I like to partner mine with some kind of, fun gift. Everybody likes these little pens, and like you were talking about, everybody likes a fancy pen, and I love a notebook. I've got my notebook right here, so I'm ready for that checklist. But partnering that with a genuine, authentic thank you card for your staff. And so not necessarily, maybe not everybody can get it the same week. So you take some time, administrators, put some time on your calendar that you're going to actually sit and write your thank you cards. Maybe it's something you do at night while you're watching your favorite show, just to make sure that everybody feels appreciated this time of year and feels, valued. So those are some things that you can do that are intrinsic. One of the things I like to add on is that we do highlight a few of these individuals. And my husband has a side hustle and he makes hats. So this is our school logo. And so we say hats off to some of our teachers every month. We do that, but that's something that could be a simple add-on. I've heard of people saying, you knock my socks off. And so that could be a neat thing to accompany a thank you card or an appreciation moment. So I do think that it's fun to get something. I think that we all thrive, and especially during this season, it's kind of neat and it's a surprise, right? It's not expected. It's not in our profession, nothing is expected. So to get something is really nice, but playing off of that positive psychology and that intrinsic motivation, I think I've been most thanked from my teachers for things that cost really nothing, and thank you cards. And one of the things that I try to do, I kind of laugh because I think, we can't give our teachers trips to Hawaii, right? We can't hey, you had a great year, so you win this Hawaii vacation, all expense paid. So one of the things I like to laugh about is teachers, we can give them time and we can give them food. And so finding ways to take things off of their plates, canceling a meeting or making sure the meeting ends at a certain time, or taking the time for that meeting to, instead of having content that maybe is necessary, it's fun and it's silly and it makes you laugh, and everybody gets a chance to laugh and enjoy their time together building that culture. So I'm always a fan of trying to think of ways that I can support my teachers in a mental health way, as well as, make them just feel good coming into work.
I love one of those things you said there, though, about the you knock my socks off kind of thing, and how you just include some little socks with it, because, everybody most people love fun socks, and those are really an inexpensive thing that you can go and pick up at any kind of Walmart or any kind of store. And so I love that. That's such a cool idea to have that little tangible item. But the other thing that I really love that you said is taking the time to write somebody a note. And, that is the most inexpensive, easiest thing to do, but it gives back the most reward for both people involved. And it reminded me of a year that, one thing that we did as an admin team is we got an address of the person that they loved the most. So they had to tell us who they really loved in their life and give us their address. They didn't know why, but we wrote a winter break card to each one of those people to say, thank you for sharing this person with us. They said they loved having you in their life. So we wanted to send you a card to tell you the great job they're doing. And we didn't tell any of the staff we were going to do that. And that was probably, out of every little gift that we did, the most long lasting, because people were like, all during the break on Facebook, oh my gosh, my assistant principal, my principal, whoever sent this card and it came to my mom and it meant so much. And we knew a couple of the family members had spoken Spanish, so we wrote the cards in Spanish for them. And so they were just like, and they wrote it in Spanish. And it was like, yeah, it took us like hours, because we had about 800 students too. So we had a large staff. So it took us hours to get that done. But the what you get from that is so beneficial in the way that just gets us over the hump. That's
insane. That's a great idea. I think we should all be doing that. That's wonderful. I think that's the thing, is our job is so we serve others. That is what we do. We are last. They say put your your safety mask on first, and that's just not the nature of teachers. And so before Thanksgiving, we put together, I think I try to impress something that I heard you say, Todd, is about being the role model. So we have to care for ourselves too. And not that I kind of try to do that in a more private way. But one of the things I try to do is actually lead in a way that shows people that I'm taking care of myself. So I will inform my staff members of maybe things like, hey, I do have to leave this meeting at, this time because I'm on parent duty tonight, or, whatever it might be. And that it might even be ways of encouraging teachers to take walks during the day. Hey, on your planning period, it's okay for you to be in the neighborhood if you're taking a walk. And I have seen I've had teams take their planning period and they will go for a walk around the neighborhood, and they're getting some fresh air. They're talking, they're collaborating. They're always talking. Teachers are always talking about lesson plans, so they cannot stop. So it's just a nice way to give back. And so one of the things I did here before Thanksgiving was I put together a calendar, and each day was a very simple thing. And one of them, I think Mondays, was count 10 breaths. But how many times do teachers just stop? How many times do you just stop and put yourself, first? And the answer is never. So it kind of forced everybody to say, hey, of course, at the end, I said, if you turn in your calendar, you'll get a prize. So the little bit of extrinsic motivation there. But really the root of that was just, building habits of happiness and habits of self-care and putting yourself first. And it's not selfish. It's not selfish to put yourself first. It's actually a necessity. If we're going to retain our good teachers and keep them in the profession, and because they're amazing teachers, they've got to take care of their health and their mental health so that they can last, and keep teaching our kids. That's really kind of my outlook. So that kind of Thanksgiving calendar challenge would not be hard to put together here for the month of December. And again, easy stuff, not big, hard things. And I've got that on my social media account as an example for November. I can share that out for you too.
Yeah, and what I'd love to say as we close out this conversation is, those of you who are watching, even if you're not watching live, share in the comments things that you're doing, because we love taking from others. I already put in the comments a link to our holiday planning ideas. In that blog post, we've got Jose's materials. We've got a holiday bingo, a holiday principal checklist. We've got a link back to this video. And then Allison, I'll get that from you, and we'll add that to the blog post as well, so people can have access to that too. And so thank you, Allison and Jose, so much for coming and spending a couple minutes with TEPSA tonight to share with our members just some ways that they can pour into their people and celebrate them during the holidays. Thank you, everybody, for joining another episode of TEPSA Presents. Remember, you can join us twice a month, every other week on Tuesday nights as we share these ideas. And you can also subscribe to our podcast or sign up to our YouTube page to get all the past episodes as well.